Podcast with your host, Clinton Washington, and your co-host, DeAngelo Gillespie. Let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to 2 Cent the Podcast. This is Season 2 with your favorite uncle. I am Uncle Clint, and as usual, I'm sitting here another year with my co-host, Mr. DeAngelo Gillespie. What's up, homie?
I'm all right. Just living.
You know what?
Made it.
I know our audience wants to know, after a year, are you still single?
I am still Mr. Singer in these streets. I'm out here working on my sophomore project, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Couldn't find no COVID love.
Ladies, he's still single out here in these streets. Couldn't find no COVID love. And it's wintertime. You can't even find nobody to snuggle up in the winter.
Hey, man, I mean, you can find them, but, you know, they be gone tomorrow.
I mean, you got a big problem.
I got a big heart. I'm, trying everybody.
Well, hey, this is Season 2 of 2 Cent the Podcast, and we're at it again, and we're going to continue to do this thing as we continue to be healthy to do so. In the middle of COVID, in the middle of political turmoil.
Welcome to 2021.
21. Yeah.
Well,
hey, that voice that you hear in the background is no other than the
He's our guest.
He's our guest.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give folks the content of where we're gonna start this one out. This episode.
I'd be hate if I let you do that.
Okay, why?
You getting them context. If I let you say content, somebody like me is gonna listen to it.
I said
like,
content.
You can't say it ain't content. You giving them context.
Contacts.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you say content, somebody gonna be like, "That's not what he doing. He's giving you context."
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't let them talk shit about you behind your back.
Okay. They'll do so too. We'll see it in the comments. He used the wrong word again. But we're gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a little bit of context.
Yeah.
So, the voice you hear in the background is my dad. Now, we're not blood related, but he's never been a stepdad. He's always been a dad. All right. If you ever heard the song by Shaquille O'Neal where the lyric said, "My biological didn't bother, and mine didn't," but my stepdad did. Yeah. He was there. So, over the years, we, created our bond. And, but you know what? Before I go into that and giving you context versus content, I'm going to introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2 Cent the Podcast, Season 2.
Yep.
The first episode is my dad, Mr. James White. Dad, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Now we rocking.
All right. Hey, we're rocking 100%. So, you know what? To give you guys a little bit of context, this is my stepdad, as I said. I remember sitting in the backyard, Los Angeles, California, 90th and Orchard, when my dad, who I always knew as my dad, walks in with this young man. And my mom was hanging clothes on the clothesline. Now, I know some of you young folks, millennials, don't know what that is, but back in the day, we didn't have a dryer. We had a washer, but we didn't have a dryer. The clothesline was where you dried your clothes.
Oh, we had one, too.
You had the clothespins, you clipped the sheets up there, the towels or whatever.
The wind ones?
Yeah, the wooden ones.
yeah.
That's how your clothes was dry back then. We didn't have no Downy and all of this fabric softener stuff. We had clotheslines. And if you put a white sheet out there and you left it out there too long or it was too wet, it might have a rust line right across the middle because these clotheslines were made of metal. So my dad walks into the backyard and he got this young man with him. And I'm looking like, where you find this kid? So my mom goes, well, introduce him to his stepbrother. I'm like, stepbrother? I didn't know mama had another kid. Right? So, but then at that point was where I realized that my dad wasn't my biological father. And I was probably about 7 or 8 at the time. Because this was the key factor that let me know he and my stepbrother looked exactly alike. The other thing was, this was at the height of the Jerry curl. The height of the Jerry curl.
Oh no.
Both of them had bomb Jerry curls. My hair wouldn't take.
Hey, well, you know.
So that was the key sign. I didn't look like him, like my stepbrother did, and my Jerry curl was whack. Took me a while to get that in play. All right. So this is my stepdad, and bringing him to the show, talk about some things. Pops, where you from?
Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama.
Get up for the South.
All right. What year were you born?
1945.
1945. What month?
January.
What day?
22nd.
Ooh, you got a birthday coming up. So that make you what? Something by 76 years old?
You know, I have a birthday every day. Every day that I wake up in the morning to be here, to witness, to be alive. See, there's so many things in life that we go through, and you know, there's a lot of people that's not here today.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think about this every day. You know, and look how many people is dying by the day. We never heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can remember some things that I went through and that I experienced in life as far as living and dying. You know, when I was coming up, I had moved to Arizona, and that was people that I used to hang out with. In
wait. Let's back up. Let's give a little bit of information. When you say you were coming up, was this from Mobile to Arizona?
No, from California. You know,
Okay, so let's step back. When you got to California, what year was that?
in '65.
65.
Okay.
That's the height of the civil rights movement, the height of the migration from the South to, you know, different cities outside the South.
What you go to Cali for?
See, I moved there because my brother, he had promised me when I graduated from high school, he was coming back to get me. He moved. I used to be a truck driver, and he moved there, and him and his family. So when he said when I graduated from high school, that he would come back and get me, and which was a blessing at that time. And you know, I've always lived good in life, and I've always lived bad. The experience in life when I got there was real good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I run into some I was running some roadblocks because, like, you know, that was still black and white issues,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah, 65?
in 65 in California, yeah, because, like, you know, we live right outside of Inglewood, and I used to go back to Inglewood. That's where all the clubs was, basically, you know. And you know, whenever you get caught in Inglewood after dark, you was told, you know, they didn't want to catch you out there.
Was it predominantly white back then? Or,
Yeah.
Inglewood?
It was Inglewood.
Yeah, Inglewood was.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
So when I was growing up as a kid, my dad used to take me and my stepbrother over to Fifth Avenue Theater, right? And it was, you know, by this time, you know, blacks had migrated into Inglewood. But my Uncle Willie's house, the brother he's talking about, was magnificent. It was a nice, big white house with pillars in the front. And in front of these pillars, he had the stone lions and everything. And
Mhm. Oh, you remember that?
I remember that. In the backyard, you know, he had a backyard with a detached garage. And inside his garage, and if I remember correctly, it was like a 1975 or 76 Jaguar. It was white with red interior.
Damn.
And I used to go out there, and all the adults is in the house, and
Sound
I'm,
like some pimp drive.
oh,
Yeah,
man,
57.
hey, you know what? We gonna get to that because, you know,
57.
and we gonna get to that. So, and I can remember every time I go over there, I would go out into the garage, and I just look at this car. I never sat in it, but I would look at it through the windshield and the side door. And my uncle told me, "I'm gonna give you that car when you get older." And I tell you before, because you about to ask.
I'm gonna say the shit ain't in the driveway. So.
Yeah. And it's a sad story on why I didn't get that car, but
Oh no.
we'll get there. So, Pop, you in California. You know, Uncle Willie brought you out here. Mm-hmm. Did you get you a job?
Yeah, I got a job.
You wasn't a freeloader?
No, no. I've always had a job, even when I was a kid coming up.
Right.
That's one thing about me. I'm not afraid to work, and I used to work. I throw papers, I rake yards, I wash cars.
You had a paper route?
And I had a paper route, and I was the only black or even whites that worked for Mobile Register that had a motor scooter.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a motor scooter.
You been had money.
I was high rolling, and I can remember some of the things that I did as a kid that kept me really doing things that was best for me.
Right.
You know, because I didn't have to depend on my mother and my father and them to do what the things that I wanted to do. You know, and I always was a dresser. You know.
So you okay?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna post some of his pictures on our Instagram page. Yeah, he was a dresser.
So you always had a good work ethic. So that's why your brother went ahead and brought you out there, because he knew you were gonna get a job.
And then too, when I was in California, I used to work for Northrop Aircraft.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
I didn't stay that far from the job. And
what do they do? What is that?
They build airplanes.
Okay.
So before there was a Boeing and all of that stuff, Northrop was the one that owned a lot of the military contracts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they I used to put in overtime, and I was always on call because I lived the closest, and I was the only one that would come to work, and they made me a lead man over some white guys and some Mexicans. But I had a crew of 7 men, and they wanted to know how I got so much work out of 7 men. They had 13 men on days, and we would do their work that they left, plus our emergency work, plus our regular work. And I just told the supervisor, it's all in how you treat people. These guys would get high on the job and go to sleep. And I told them, as long as your work done, you can do anything you want to do. I'm gonna back you up.
What year was this?
This was in 70, 75? Yeah, about 75 or 80, somewhere in there.
Yeah, high on the job. It's a milk. Wait, you said y'all building planes?
Yeah.
I started out working.
I don't want y'all building planes getting high though.
I started out working for a maintenance company for the aircraft.
Right.
So then the supervisors that from the maintenance service, his son, they was and his buddies, they was motorcycle gang members.
Right.
Yeah, so they come to work already high. But that part of things that I didn't invite myself to until later on in the years,
Right. So let me ask you this, right? Now, I'm growing up, and, Pops wasn't, okay, so I got to go back to the beginning of the part of the story that I was told. So my mom moves to California when I'm about 6 or 9 weeks old. I was also born in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh.
But they didn't know each other there.
Okay.
Right? So my mom moves to California with her cousins, right? I'm about 6 to 9 weeks old.
By the way, my brother was going with your mom's cousin.
Okay.
That's how we met.
I got to tell you about these playboys in this family here. So my mom, when she tells me the story, so my dad, I call Pops, his nickname is Sonny. So mom would always say, Sonny will come over here every Friday and bring you some milk and some Pampers, right? She didn't tell me he was buying groceries for her or doing this or doing that.
But you leaving out Another thing you said on Fridays. What about during the week?
Well, I don't know about nothing during the week. That's just what she told me about.
I'm covering all the bases.
He said, I'm handling the rest of it.
Hey, that's what she just told me. Every Friday he would bring milk and Pampers. So as I get more into this story, you'll understand why we're so close and why even when there was times where we lost touch, I would always seek him out. Right?
Yeah.
So now, okay, Pop, you're working this job, right? It's a nice job at Northrop.
You know, once
Wait. I got a question for you before you go off. You working this job.
Yeah.
You did Northrop.
Yep.
You also worked as a longshoreman.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the longshoreman days.
Well, you know, the longshoreman days, like I said,
Because that's union work.
We had the company that I worked with was Prola Steel, Hugo New Prola, and they was on Terminal Island, between Long Beach and San Pedro, and I would go and that's once I learned how to operate crane, and then that was older guys, much older than I was, that there was cranes that they had that they wouldn't get on because they were so rough and it was to handle.
Right.
But I was the master. Yeah, you know, I didn't run for any of them, and so one of the local team members, white guy, told me, he said, "Hey Jim," he said, "why don't you go down and sign up the work casual in our union, in our local?"
Right.
I said, "Okay, I'll go down there and sign up." He said, "But look, take the hazardous jobs. Don't get the easy job. Take the hazardous job. You get paid triple time, more in one day. You're making almost a whole week."
Okay.
So whenever I would go and I worked 2 days, and I worked 2 days, and I always, when the guys would run from the hazardous jobs because they were loading napalm bombs. And I took them every once a week. I worked 2 days. I didn't have to go back to my regular job. I make more than 2 days. I went a whole week, you know, and working out of Local 13, and there was a guy named Red, and he said, "Hey James," he said, "Hey youngster, you gonna work the bombs today?" I said, "I sure am." He said, "Well, come on in, man. We'll sign up together." And we would hook these napalm bombs up. And this white guy named Red, he stand up and watch him go up in the air. And I said, "Hey man," I said, "you better, them damn things might fall down. The crates might break, anything." He said, "Oh, I've been doing this for years." So he said, "I know what I'm doing." I said, "Okay." So man, one of those crates burst one day, and it took the buttons off his. I don't know why his piece wasn't smashed.
You took his buttons off his shirt.
Took his buttons off his shirt. He said, "Oh." I say, "Yeah." I say, you understand now, but you know, during those days, that was some things that went on and off the job, because you know, we as blacks, you know, we always have had a problem,
right,
in these different situations. You know,
what you mean? Had a problem as in what?
You know, as far as race.
Okay.
In job picking, you know, we always got the shitty jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and when I learned to operate, all the heavy duty equipment that I could, even the D6 Caterpillars, the D12, the D9, anything that was moving, you know, in that company, in that yard, I tried to learn how to operate.
Right.
You know, and my cousin, he was real good because they had the gantries. And see, that company that I worked, they had their own ship, so they load the scrap, you know. And I remember one day, they were bringing in new cars to have them destroyed. Plus, you know, plus new car parts and everything. So what I did, I started scavenging parts, and I got hooked up with a Spanish guy that was up in.
Wait, you started selling the parts that they brought in?
When they bring,
should have sold the whole car.
Hey, this way,
you can't. You got whatever you can get out.
Oh,
you gotta pay somebody to take it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody made money.
Yeah, okay.
right.
And it got to the point where it was one of our downfalls. Because we bought trucks. We bought 2 trucks. Me and my brother, and then the other
Those
guys.
moving trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all can move the shit out?
Yeah. We
That's a good hustle.
Scrap was good. Scrap was
So-
paying real good. And
Remind me of them
Wait,
dudes.
hold on. Let me give a little bit more into this story. So, my Uncle Willie and my dad, they got these real good jobs. Now, I remember seeing a paycheck, and I remember seeing the time periods on the paycheck. And they got paid about $850 a week. A week.
so
I don't know how many hours, but I just remember that paycheck said
What year was this?
that was in the 70s,
Whoa.
60s.
exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
But see-
Right now, it's been like.
But
See,
hold on, Pop.
When those checks could come out like that, see, that means a ship, the company ship, we got to load the ship.
Stay on it. Get in front of your mic.
We have to load the ship. So it takes us, we don't go home for maybe 3 days, some days 4 days. And then in order to make more money, we would break the machine down. So when the guys go in to fix it, we're sitting in the lunchroom gambling. It was everything that you go through, you learn something.
Right. So let me ask you this, Pop. You mentioned about gambling, right? You always loved to place a bet. I can remember that.
You out here hustling.
Yeah. I can remember Pop's coming home from work about 12:30 a.m. That's what time he got off. And I can remember him coming home, and the fellas will follow him home. And I got pictures of this. And they playing cards and dominoes.
Yep.
Cards and dominoes. I had to go to school the next day, but, they didn't care, So, okay, you went from Mobile, Alabama, longshoreman, working at Northrop, little bit of friendly gambling from there, right? But
I also had a job at Hollywood Racetrack.
oh boy, listen, hey, if any of you guys out there from LA, you know about Hollywood Racetrack, this is where your parents take you to babysit you. Hollywood Racetrack. I remember Dad now. He used to play the horses. And I remember how he used to bet the horse. Always, and I remember hearing him use the terms bookie. I remember that back in the day. So now listen. All right, Paul, we go jump into this. Now, you come to California. You get 2 good paying jobs, right?
Yeah.
They're paying you some money.
When you're finished, I want to go back to you and your mother.
No, okay, we'll get down to that. So you get 2 good paying jobs, right? Now, anybody that knows me, I'm not ashamed of my past, and I'll throw it out there. I'm not embarrassed by it much. So when you were bringing the milk and the Pampers, you was also married to someone else.
I sure was.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you get married? You was married when you got there? Or you?
No. I married 2 years after I had got there.
23.
Yeah, and this is before I met his mother.
You were making good money. Of course you got married.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna let you just walk around out here free.
Yeah, cause my stepbrother's a couple years older than me, something like that. He old, okay. But so
you were already married when you met Clint's mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you doing bringing milk and shit?
He got the smirk on his face. Y'all need to see the smirk.
I just thought about something when it comes to you. You say you don't have a lady right now.
I'm single right now.
You're single right now. Yes, see, I wasn't single. And I ain't never been single in my life.
Hey, you know what, sir? It was a long time in my life where I ain't know how to get single either. You got to get single.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Shit.
If
you let them, they'll hold you.
They'll hold you.
They'll hold you. You got to break free.
Man, listen.
But money, streets, and the women is a lot of my downfall. But I don't blame nobody for nothing that went on in my life.
Okay, wait, hold on. We got to walk people slow through this now, because you got a story. So
some stories.
We got some stories. Pops was married at the time.
So this is down.
He meets this young innocent woman that and he's providing for her and her child or whatever.
What made you do that?
Right.
I got a heart. I do it now for anybody.
He will.
I have had so many people in my life that have helped me.
Yeah, I feel I feel like that too. I got so many people to help me.
I just can't say no. I can't. When I do something, I do it from here. Yeah. From my heart.
Got to.
And I don't expect nothing, especially today. I don't expect nothing back because I have been so blessed. My life and my story go on and on and on. I might have to jump over a little bit.
No, I want no. We gotta walk through this. I don't want you to jump over because people gonna love this story.
I go. Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start. How did we get here, Pop? Let's start here. I'm gonna start it off. It's 1994.
You can't go that far.
No.
If you start at 94, then you don't tell his story. You don't tell yours.
No, but this is why it's important to go back that far. Yeah. 1994. I'm in the military. Now, by this time, I think sometime around 1982, because Pops was a player. When I tell you he was a player, he was a player. He and my mom, they eventually get married, right? Okay. He gets a divorce, gets married, and they go on, live happily ever after up until about maybe 82, 83. Then Pops separates from the family. Now,
from 82?
Yeah, about 82. We're still in contact.
You and him?
Yeah, we're whole family is still in contact.
So him and your mom just don't know no longer.
Yeah, they done moved on and, doing whatever. Okay. Pops is still around. Then there becomes a time period where life just goes and you start to lose touch, you lose contact or whatever. So I think around 1986, we were in contact because I had ran away from home. That's a whole different podcast. I had ran away from home, and the first person I called was him. Yeah. He comes to my rescue. He don't move me in with him because he's into things that he doesn't want me around, but he moves me in with his ex-wife.
She said,
"How the hell you get that?"
She said, "Let him come and live with us." That the thing that went on in life, because once people change their prospect of life, as far as religion is concerned, it has a lot to do with.
Right. Before you go into the religion aspect, how did and my stepmom may she rest in peace? Not really my stepmom, but my stepbrother's mom. How did she tell you to let me come stay with her?
Because your mother was having problems out of you, and I had the first time I ever had to go to school to find out what was going on with you, and it was all because of the religion, so they said that you couldn't stay there in the house anymore, and those were the brothers of that. What is the?
I always thought you was joking about
right.
how serious
the
religion is, but you and Jehovah's Witness, y'all got real beef out here.
Oh, yeah, it's a real problem.
Yeah, that's right. And I have family members that's in there right now, and to me, it's not like it used to be. Something they say it's not. Something's different.
Right. So look. Hold on.
I came and got you.
Wait, hold on. You came and got me.
Okay. And so I was telling my ex-wife about what was going on. She said, "Well, let him come live here with his brother." Mm-hmm. And that was a blessing.
Yep.
So
until you tried to kill me in a car accident.
She gave them her job cleaning up the bank at night.
Mm-hmm.
and they out riding, and so my son also he had a habit, James Jr. He had a habit of falling asleep while he's driving.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nobody knew this.
Even in the daytime.
Wait, time out. Wait, y'all found this shit out after or before?
So kind of skip around a little bit.
Like you telling me Clint got a problem.
No.
Wrong to us again.
No, not me, my stepbrother.
What I'm saying, like,
right.
Brother, yeah.
None of y'all knew this before?
No.
Nobody knows.
So I
knew it.
I run away from home.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I call Pops. I don't get in touch with him that night. I get in touch with him the next day. He comes to get me. He takes me to my stepbrother in his mom's apartment in Long Beach, California.
Okay.
No, that was in Inglewood.
Nope. Pops, it was Long Beach. I can take you to that apartment right now. It was apartment number 5. It was upstairs. And I couldn't understand why apartment 5 was upstairs and not downstairs.
That was on Hawthorne Boulevard.
Okay, we'll call James later.
This is a great time in the story.
We'll call little James later and he'll clear it up.
That was in L.A.
No. So I'm gonna tell you why.
It was off of yes, it was because it was off of it was off of what
You said Hawthorne, but
no, wait a minute, hold on.
Cherry Street.
It was off of Vermont, and
I never lived in L.A. outside my mama's house.
Yes, you have.
Okay. So anyway,
Yes, you have.
and I'll tell you why my dad is wrong later on in this story, in this
you
episode.
have.
So I'm staying there with my stepbrother. He worked at Taco Bell, but he also had the side gig cleaning the bank. And I remember going in there a couple times, cleaning up. I didn't understand about contracts and janitorial or whatever. So we go and hang out. It's him, his cousin Chris, right? Her friend, and we're in a white pickup truck. Mm-hmm. It was a Chevy. I'm in the front seat. My brother's driving. 2 girls, and I think this kid was like 5 or 6 year old little boy. They're in the back of the pickup truck.
Who damn kid?
We done drove from, despite what Dad say, we done drove from Long Beach to L.A. to Hollywood just to go cruise the Strip, right? No drinking involved, no drugs, just food and soda. On the way back from Hollywood, we dropped the girls off, and we're driving home. It's late. I fall asleep in the front seat.
Yeah. Only thing saving.
We drive in the freeway. I wake up, right? And I look, and I'm going, I can't figure out where I'm at. I'm in a daze. So now, kind of back up. My brother, my stepbrother James, is on the freeway, driving, sleep. And out of reflex, the cops' police report states this. Out of reflex, he gets off at the correct exit while asleep. Mm-hmm. He drives down that exit, makes a left turn, and if it wasn't for the car that was parked on the side of the street, his reflex while asleep probably would have taken him home. But he hits a parked car, we spin out, do whatever, and then we hit the wall of an apartment. I go through the windshield, right? When I hit the wall, I'm in a daze, but I wake up, and I'm trying to get up on my foot. I'm thinking to myself, because Pops and my stepbrother, they're practical jokers. They think the most grossest things are funny. So while you're asleep, my brother would always play a trick on you. So I'm thinking my leg is not working because he did something while I was asleep, right? So I'm hobbling over, and I'm leaning on the door of the truck, and I guess I hobble over to the curb. True story. I'm laying there, and I hear the paramedics asking my stepbrother his name, but he can't say anything. I'm excited in whatever sense that I'm in. I'm excited to be able to tell them his name and whatever. So I wake up. When I wake up, I open my eyes. This paramedic guy jumps. He jumps backwards, and then he goes, "Are you all right?" I go, "Yeah." Not realizing we'd just been in a bad car accident. And he goes, I said, his name is James. You know, I'm like the hyped up. And about this time, I'm about 16, 17 years old, right? This was March of 1986. And I'm hyped up. Yeah, his name is James, and that's my brother. And I look over, my stepmom is going, those are both my sons, right? And I can see all of these people, but still, I don't know. We've been in a car accident. I'm in a daze. So the guy is kind of like sitting back on his butt, but he's looking startled, and I don't know why. And he goes, can you walk? I go, yeah. And I go to walk, but I fall down. My leg isn't working. So they lift me up, and they put me on, not on a stretcher, but on a side little bench of the ambulance.
Yeah.
They bring my brother in on a stretcher. And this is why this direction is important. My head is where his feet is. His head is towards the entrance of the ambulance. Yeah. And I look at him, and I'm like, his nose is scarred up. Like, part of it is missing. Yeah. And I'm going, hey, man, you all right? And he tells me, we've been in a car accident. I black out. Because the next time I wake up, I'm in the hospital in Long Beach, right? While I'm in the hospital in Long Beach, my brother is on a stretcher, laid out. There's another guy on a stretcher, but they have him sitting up, and he's coughing up blood. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. I just know the doctors keep coming in and trying to do something inside of his mouth, and he's yelling and screaming. And I'm sitting there and like, okay, well, you know, what's next? Until they put me under this sink to rinse my face. And I go to touch my face, and I thought my face was burnt, but it was just dried up blood. Yeah. So that's why I got the scars on my forehead, because I went through the windshield. My brother's all pretty now because he had, you know, surgery, got all his stuff fixed. My mom was like, you don't need that, you know. So I go to live with Pops. I have this thing, and ended up, man, my story is crazy. Ended up going back to his ex-wife's house, but then she couldn't take care of me and my brother. So I had to go back home with my mom's. Mm-hmm. Being a knucklehead, I don't want to stay there. So my mom said, okay, I'm going to send you to live with your aunt in Alabama, Mobile.
Oh, Lord.
Ended up going to high school there, playing football. It was the most miserable 5 months of my life.
Hey, listen, shout out to all my boys in Alabama, but I'm telling you, no. And I'm from Atlanta, so it ain't that far. It's just a little hot skip, about 2.5. No.
Right. So I'm gonna get the Pop. So now, life progresses forward. Mm-hmm. Lose contact with Pops, because you know life is just happening. I'm back in California. I'm going to school, living life, doing whatever. Okay. I joined the military, and my mind goes, I got to go find Pops, because that's the real part of my existence. That's the real part of my association, Pops. Every weekend, we went to the original Pike in Long Beach, right? Every weekend, he took us to the Pike. Every year, he took us to the circus. Every year, I saw the Harlem Globetrotters. Disneyland. Now, Disneyland was a little disappointing because Pops only got about 2 hours worth of attention span. Then it's time to go.
You even got a chance to go to Tijuana a couple of times.
Yeah. You know, Pops was about the adventures, and that's where I get it from with trying to take my kids places and doing things, because that's the experience he gave me. Now, why did we lose touch?
Well, you know, that goes back to I call it my best part of life, but it's the foolish part of life, because the money was real plentiful. Mm-hmm. And the women was plentiful, you know, and they say, as long as you got money, you got friends.
Right.
But once that money run out, boy, you in trouble. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I met some guys while I was working at Northrop. Like I said, everybody there, including the white and the black, they got high. Mm-hmm. You know, and That's why I say some of the planes that they made, I wouldn't fly on.
That was another thing.
No, I wouldn't fly on them, never. So, but I got into drugs. So this guy, he was a electronic technician for the company, and
which that's what he forced me to do.
And then I met him. So he introduced me to some powder, to cocaine.
Okay.
So when we get off on Fridays, I would give him my $50, and
Man, that's a lot of money to start off with the drugs.
and I would.
But that how much you get for $50 back then?
Yeah. So I would give him the money, and I'd go home, change clothes, and get my car, and I would have to get one of my old cars. I had 3, and I had
Regal?
a 57 Chevy, and I had the Regal, and I had a 55 Chevy, and so I would have to get one of the old cars, because once you get out on the set, you in trouble on the weekend. But I go over there to get my issue, and it take him a long time to come to the door.
Right.
So I would go over to a girl house and come back and
Cheating on my mama.
Give him a call, and so when I get in touch, he said, "Oh man," he said, "I use that." So he said, I take care of you next week. So the girl, she was a nurse, and she said her friend had some, and they was putting it in cigarettes, and selling. That's was one of the things that taught me to smoking cigarettes.
Putting the powder in cigarettes?
Yeah, and selling cigarettes. Yeah, and her friend lived around the corner from us, so she come over, and she said, "Oh, you don't have to." My friend told, she said, "Oh, you don't have to go through him to get nothing." She said, "Come here." So she had a whole big bag in the refrigerator. Belongs to her friend.
Right.
So anyway, then, so once I met her friend, she said, "Yes." She said, "I got to go take some to Leroy." I said, "Don't take it to him. Give it to me."
Right.
Because it's for me. So she called him. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm getting it for him, but go ahead and bring it to me. I'll take it him next week." I said, "Every week, that's the way it goes."
Right.
So I took it, but then I got to the point where some of the older guys was using it, but they was making rocks. They was cooking it.
Right.
So then I learned how to cook it. And this guy was. I used to go through him to get the power, but he worked in construction.
Well, what year was this?
That was 80, 86, 87, something.
Yeah.
She was fresh.
Yeah.
And he so I stopped dealing with him because he wanted to cut of mine.
Right.
And I'm already getting something. So anyway, I stopped dealing with him. So then once I got hooked with the main lady, I can call her, and she gave me a $50 credit line.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, my girl, I was going with Barbara.
I don't want to encourage drugs.
Okay, wait.
I kind of want to know what you get for 50. Like, what's the
How much you was getting?
Oh, I was getting about I think it's,
like a quarter?
It's a little less, about a quarter.
For 50?
Yeah.
Okay, now.
But
You should have went wholesale. Start. I mean, putting that up.
So
once I learned the method, so the girl, she would call me. She said that she was cooking in a fruit jar, and I still know she cooking in a regular little glass, trying to make some rocks. So I said, "Well, look, let me come over." She said, "Well, can you come over here and show me how to do it?" I said, "Yeah." So I took her over there and showed her, and then so we got to be real good friends. So then I started supplying the guys on the job, and then on the weekend I would rent a hotel suite. Me on the 3rd floor of this hotel. BB King, he had a he had a room up there on the third floor, and I would get one Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I had made sure when you come there, if I hadn't even paid for it, the Chinese guys, him and his wife, they would go ahead and let them go in the room until I get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was just that good at that. I thought it was good at that time.
Right.
So anyway, I was at home, and then I didn't. It was during the week, and I didn't go nowhere, and I stayed home that particular weekend. So anyway, I was waiting for the guys to call me to come pick up something, and the guy would call me and say, "Hey man, that stuff you gave me wasn't no good." I said, "Oh, okay, well come by and get some more. I give you some more because I don't fool with nothing that's no good."
All right, stay on your mic, Pop, so we can hear you.
And the lady, the girl, she always makes sure if I tell her it's no good, you know, then she said she'll replace him.
Right.
So the next week, the guy called me again to me. It wasn't no good.
Hold on.
I said, oh, wait a minute, something
wrong.
this year. So I said, well, let me try. So I said, well, I don't know what to tell you, man, because I'm trying the same thing that you had, and it's good to me.
Right.
So anyway, then about 2 weeks later, didn't nobody show up, didn't nobody call. Because I didn't go to the hotel room that particular weekend because everybody was in and they was calling me and I was taking it to them or they was coming to get it. And so, and I had a bone. And so, so I say, well, I tell the girl, then once I taught her, then she was just selling the straight rocks, cocaine.
Right.
And so when she said, well, I need you to try this for me and let me know it's good. So I put it on top of my bong in my weed bong,
Right.
and I tried to say, yeah, it's good. She said, well, okay, then you want to get? I said, yeah, I'll get some. And she said, well, I'm gonna give you this here for helping me out. And so my girl came home, didn't nobody show up. No, one guy he came, and so I need to go get some more. So I asked her, Bob, I said, I need $50. She said, oh. She said, you need $50? I said, yeah. So I said, I'll give it back to you. So didn't nobody show up. So I'm testing this shit out myself. And later on that night, I said, hey, I said, let me get $50 until my friend bring me my money. She said, give you $50. I just gave you $50. She said, you look like you your best customer. So anyway, I got hooked.
So
Yeah.
now kind of back up a little bit. Around 92, 93,
Right.
I go looking for Pops, right?
Yeah.
So I would go back to my old neighborhood, and this would have to be, I'll get into all this resurfacing old friends in a different episode. But I go back to the old neighborhood, and this one lady, she was the queen pin. If you didn't know what a queen pin was back in the day, she was the queen pin. She used to run the gangsters in my street. They used to hang out on her front porch.
All right.
And now I see, back in the day before drive-bys, when they started doing drive-bys, they shoot at everything in the neighborhood but her house. Mm-hmm. Right? Her name was Flossie, and I think that was like her real name. She had a couple sons and, grandkids and stuff like that. She said, I go in the neighborhood, trying to, find old friends or whatever. And she goes, you seen your dad? I'm like, nah, I ain't seen him in a minute. She said, he ain't doing too good. He hang out up here at this boogie joint on Vermont. So people from LA, y'all know where Vermont is. And she describes it. I go looking, can't really find it. I go back to her house, ask her for, better directions. Yeah. And I go to this place. I knock on this wrought iron door. So people from California, y'all know, they got a wrought iron door on everything. Liquor store, grandma house, it's bars. So I knock on this door, and it's a white door. This dude come in, he cracks the door, sticks his head out, be like, what's up? I said, hey, man, I'm looking for James White. I'm his son, Clinton, blah, blah, blah. And I go to explain who I am. And he go, you the one that went to the Army? I said, nah, I'm not in the Army. I'm in the Navy, but I'm looking for my dad. Like, man, he talk about you all the time. I said, okay, you know, where he at? He ain't here, but give me a number. I'll make sure he gets in contact with you. I'm like, okay. Give him my number. I drive from L.A. back to Compton, and I get a page. You know, we had pagers back then. Yeah. It's Pops. Get in touch with him. I'm hyped up. I go pick him up. The first thing we do, we go to a Target. He runs inside. He's trying to return 2 flannel shirts. But every time he goes in there to customer service to return it, they want to give him a store credit.
Because he only got the receipt. He don't got the receipt.
Exactly. So we went to about 3 Targets. Yeah. We get to the third one. He finally gives up. And he said, take me over here at such and such. I'm a good son. I'm on military pay, so I only got about, you know, maybe $15, $20 in my pocket. I give him $15. He goes upstairs, and he say, I'm a hang. That's how Pops talk. I'm a hang out with my friend. I'll get back with you. Right there was a confirmation. It's like, my dad is on drugs.
Yeah.
So I see him one other time after that, and I have him come over to, you know, I pick him up. I call my sister up, his biological daughter. Yeah. I call her up. I have her meet me where I'm staying and surprise her with Pops, which was the worst thing I could have ever done.
Why?
Because she already knew he was out there on drugs and stuff like that. I didn't know. Because I had joined the military. I'm going, coming back, going, or whatever. So she's 16 at the time. This was traumatic for her. He's still on drugs, but I'm thinking to myself, if he sees her, this is the cure. This is the motivation to get off the drugs. It doesn't work. So that time period is going. 1997, I go looking for him again, and I'm going to all these drug houses that people tell me that I can possibly find him. Can't find him. Gone. That's it. I got my military career. I'm in and out. They're shipping me to other states and countries and all of this stuff, so we definitely lose contact. Mm-hmm. 2010, right? 2010. I'm on a website, and the website, reunion.com, right? I'm on this website, and you can type in people's name, you know, and then that website will give you links to possible relatives. Yeah. So just goofing off at night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I type in my mom's name just to see what comes up. I type in her name. Pop's name comes up, and it's a hyperlink, right? I click on the hyperlink. There I see names that are familiar to me, but I can't remember how. And then I see my Uncle Tommy, his brother. I see Uncle Tommy's name, and I click on that hyperlink. And then I see names that, oh, snap, that's my aunt. That's, you know, so now, and it's showing their information, phone numbers. I'm calling people in Mobile, Alabama, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. And I'm calling these people up, hey, this is Clinton, blah, blah, blah. I'm excited. Now, kind of back up a little bit. Since I had not seen him since 1987, and he was a drug addict, my assumption was he's dead, because I had already checked all the blocks, all the different places.
16 years.
Yeah, he was dead. Yeah. I even went back to that old bookie joint, and the guy told me, he's like, man, we haven't seen him, but we think he moved to Arizona because he had got some settlement from a bus accident. So, but I think he's dead because I hadn't heard from him. So that next morning, everybody that I contacted, they're waking up, they contacted me. Oh, Clint, oh, it's been a long time. We glad you found us, blah, blah, blah. I talked to my stepbrother. He hadn't seen him since 2001. Now, mind you, this is 2010. So the assumption is he's dead.
Yeah.
That's what drug addicts do. They die.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and one of my aunts, his sister, she said, "You found us. Find your dad so we can give him a proper burial."
Damn.
So I've been given an assignment, and I'm going to stick to it. So the next night, late at night, I'm doing my same search, but I think to myself, every drug addict has had to go to jail.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to inmates.com, and I do a search for his name, and then it offers, it gives you the chance to select the state.
Yeah.
You had to go to a friend in order to get that information.
Right. Well, I had talked to another friend, and
Yeah.
they told me about it. So I go to inmates.com, and I go, well, since he was in Arizona, that's the first thing to pop
You
up.
moved to Arizona?
Yeah.
Voluntarily?
Yeah. I got my little settlement off of the bus accident.
What made you move out there, though? Who you knew out there?
Well, see, I was going with this white girl.
Pat.
When I was working for the aircraft, she worked for the aircraft, and my Spanish friend, he introduced me to her, so she moved there, and I stayed in contact with her while I was out there in the street, and she told me to come on move. I said, well, I'm waiting on her. So, I had to go back. to
Cali,
Cali
for the money.
to get the money, and the lawyer, he knew that I was using drugs, so he kept me there. He kept me there and not letting me go back, so he can continue letting me get that $500, $250 a week. Yeah, and I got shafted on that too.
Right.
But,
So hold on before you go. So now I'm gonna continue my part. I go to inmates.com. I go to Arizona. Right now, before I go to Arizona, I had already tried to find him because his name was linked to the lady that he was messing with named Pat.
Yeah.
I called her number. By this time, she must have been married or something because the husband.
No, she never married.
Well,
You got to get
whoever
the
it
wrong
is.
person there.
No, I called this lady, and this dude, she answered the phone, but as soon as she said his name, the dude took the phone, and he was irate. Stop calling here for him and blah, 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 blah. He goes off. I called another number that was linked up in his name, and that person was like, he robbed him or took something from him, took advantage of whatever it was. So now I go in and I do this inmates.com, and I see this gray-haired dude, and I'm going, that looks like him, but I wasn't sure. So I sent the picture to my sister, who in turn sends it to my mother. And she goes, I ain't never seen that man before in my life. Right? So I'm sitting up here, but come on, man. This can't be a coincidence.
Yeah.
So 9 o'clock that morning, I called the jail. I explained my story. I think my dad is in your prison, and we assumed he was dead since 1997. And I just want to get an address so I can write him and see if that's him. The correctional officer said, call back at 11 o'clock and ask for Counselor Shaw.
That's Shaw.
I go, okay. I doze off for a little while. I call back. I get the correctional officers, and then I get Counselor Shaw, and I'm very humble. How you doing, sir? My name is Clint, and I think my dad is in your prison, and we assumed that he was dead since 1997. He was a drug addict, but this looks like him, and I just want to get an address to see if that's him, and I'm wondering if you can help. He said, hold on a minute. I'm not even in my office. Really aggressive. He comes back to the phone. He said, Clint? Yes, sir. I have Mr. White here in my office. Long pause. Then he says, Clint, I said, Dad? And he busts out crying. I'm just like, holy shit, that's him.
You know you over the phone? You know his voice?
Let me go back on that. You know, when I was there, before I went there, and like I say, I found out that different things. I had been arrested just to be arrested, you know, and I never paid a ticket. I always did me 2 or 3 days or whatever it took for me to pay that ticket.
Yeah.
But this one particular time when I did go in my neighborhood, I was hooked up with the Spanish people. And my people didn't like me because the Spanish people took care of me. It's all how you carry yourself with respect and give people respect. And I was doing a job for a Mexican guy. So he said, stay here at this house until the electrician, until the electric people come and you can and say, I'm gonna give you $20 to wait here till they come.
Yeah.
And he said, you stay till they come. So 2.5 years later, I still was there.
What?
so
You stayed at the house?
Yeah.
Just in Arizona?
In Arizona, yeah. But see, it was Spanish, you know, when I did go to jail, I did go to prison.
How did you find yourself in prison? I mean, I don't want to guess, and
I didn't find myself. The good Lord put me there.
Okay.
That's why I'm here today as a living witness.
Well, then
I was so glad.
What road did you go on to find yourself in prison?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be hard for you to believe. I'm gonna tell you this, and a lot of people may not believe. They'll laugh and say, "Oh man, that didn't happen to you." I was hooked up with the Mexicans. Like I told you, the guy gave me this house. Well, he went back to Mexico or something, but
and you stayed in the house.
All the Spanish people that was in Arizona that I know of was into drugs. So I stayed there, opened up the house, cleaned up, and so what I did, I made me a health care facility.
What's that?
A health care facility only for women.
Oh, health care facility.
Yeah,
you said only for women.
Yeah, only for women.
Hey, he sound like a predator.
Man,
only
that sound
for
like
women. That's
man,
right.
that just sound like a brothel.
So whenever they want to get high, something they come in, you know.
Oh, when they want to get high.
Man,
you trying to say a nice name for a crack house? Hold on.
yeah. I opened up and I sure did.
He said a healthcare facility
for
for
women.
women, but it was a crack house for women.
First, I was like, wait, you a pimp?
I had my buddy at the door, so I had a doctor's coat on, I had a stethoscope around my neck, and a pipe in my hand. So you know, and I look back and
what you do? You went to jail for prostitution or drugs?
No. The spot was next door, so I got hooked up with the Mexicans. So if anybody wanted to do any business, they had to go through me.
Right.
So they taught me a little Spanish and little words and stuff. See, because they don't like my people. See, you know, but somehow, with carrying myself in a way that I was with people. See, and I'm the only one that can go in their house.
Okay.
See,
and that's a true story.
But anyway, then you know about my life. When I say something, it's all about the truth. You know, that's some good, some bad. But
let's go back to the prison.
But anyway, going back to the
prison still.
Okay,
hold on. So wait, hold on. Go back to Consular Shaw.
No. I got to get to him.
Okay.
But the Mexicans. Somebody came over one day with a brand new bicycle. Still had a tag on.
I remember this.
And so the Mexican guy, no, you wasn't nowhere on this one.
No, I remember you telling me this.
Oh yeah, but anyway, the Mexican sent the lady sent her son over there to me, and she told me, she said, "Hey, this guy bought a bicycle that he want to sell. It's new." Say, but we don't want it. She said, "You want it? We'll buy it for you." I said, "Yeah." So anyway. I said, well, look, I said, no, that's okay. I said, I don't think I want it. So in order to get me some of the drugs that they gonna give him, I gotta tell you, man, I said, I'm gonna trick him, I'm gonna fool him, or you can give me some of the stuff that they gonna buy the bike for, bike. Right. So anyway, they buy the bike, give me the bike. So he goes in my house, he got to pay me to go in my house.
Right.
To smoke his dope, you know. So anyway, I gets on the bike, and my buddy and them, they in there kicking it. I think a couple of girls there. Anyway, so I'm riding around on the new bike, riding around the neighborhood. You know, so I got dope in my cap.
Right.
So I run into this girl, a nice little yellow thing. She's young, and I call her Woody Woodpecker. So I call her Woody Woodpecker. If you know what I mean.
Man, come on, man.
So anyway, I put Woody Woodpecker on the bike, and so I'm on the sidewalk. So they say you can't ride the bike on the sidewalk. So I get out in the street. I'm a block from my house.
Man, you selling dope, but you're scared to ride the damn bike on the sidewalk.
Man, they put you in jail. I'm telling you, they got different rules in different areas. See, the white people can ride them all over the world, all on top of the house. They wouldn't say nothing.
Right.
You know. But,
so you're in the middle of the street with the bike, okay?
Yeah. So I'm riding down. I'm riding down the street. So instead of me making a right turn to go to my house, I go up a block, going turn around. So the police shot by me and made a U-turn. And so he threw the light on me and pulled me over. So he said, hey, he said, you know why I stopped you? I said, no. He said, I stopped because your legs is wide. I said, she was on the rail. So
right.
I said, you know, I said, because my legs wide. She said, yeah, you ain't supposed to have two people on the bicycle. See, and you know, who in the world is going to think of something like that? You know, but that's the police. And I found out that they have to have a quota. So the girl had two warrants, 2 felony warrants for drugs. Yeah, she was nice though, you know. So anyway, I lived up the street I lived next door to the drug house and up the street from the brothers. But my Mexican people, so I happened to go up there to the truck and got the Mexican lady a 6-pack of Cokes off the truck. Right. And they saw me there. The truck is parked in front of the drug house.
The police saw you there?
Yeah, police saw me.
Okay.
So they figured that's why they stopped me. See?
Okay.
And they wanted me to snitch. So the girl
stay on the microphone there,
but
Pop.
the girl snitched on me, and she got 2 warrants to let her go. So anyway, I had my little chain, and I had a bus card on top of it. So she get my chain off the police car and my bus card and take off through the alley. And you're not supposed to go in the alley. Right. You know, so they let her go, and so then 4 more police cars pulled up, and they stood around me. So the sergeant pulled up. And then I'm thinking they let me go. So the sergeant pulled up and walks up. It was 4 police cars had me surrounded on the bicycle. I had my legs wide. Right. And they said, so when the sergeant walked up, and he said, I was getting my hat, my cap, my chain, whatever I had left off of the hood of the police car. So the sergeant walked up. He said, hey, y'all didn't check his cap. So the girl told where it was.
Oh, man.
With a woodpecker, I call it. So anyway, they said, well, look, we're going to let you go. Tell us where you got it from. I said, I found that cap in the alley when the police saw me come out there.
And you put it on? Man, come on.
Yeah, that's what I told. I showed did. I told these shoes here, this cap, I said, and even this shirt I got on. Mm-hmm. You know, and I couldn't talk my way out of it. So anyway, they takes me to jail, and that's when I went to pen. But
what they charge you with?
They charged possession.
Possession. Damn.
Yeah, I think when I looked it up, it was like paraphernalia.
How long you stay for possession?
That's what it was paraphernalia because it wasn't enough dope. You know, it wasn't enough dope. I did a year, but see,
you did a year for possession.
Yeah,
you had a prior?
No, it was close to like 14 months.
Yeah, but you know,
You was on probation when you?
No, I wasn't on probation, nothing. But see,
A year for possession?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I told you, it's different laws for white people given black. You say, you know,
Sound like a long time.
Wait. Hold on. Before we go down that road, hold on. Let's go back to
let me go back.
go back to Consular Shaw.
Okay, so anyway, when I go to prison, and everybody from the neighborhood, the white guys, the Chinese guys, everybody that I done dealt with, they come to my house. And all the brothers, they come in. So I told them I'm here for a different reason. You know, I opened my Bible, read it every day, and every day that I prayed every day to see my family and my son. You know, I hadn't seen them 16 years, and I hadn't seen my family, my sisters, in 22 years. And so anyway, I goes in there, and I got in contact with the Spanish lady and her son them that I was next door to. So every month they was putting $100 on my account. Every month. So when the guys come in there and they said, "Hey man," he said, "You here?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here for a different reason." So they asked me, did I want to work? And I said, yeah, because, well, you know, the place was open. It was real. It was nice as far as I was concerned, you know. But every day, and every night the church doors was open, I was there. So that man actually said, well, if you want to work, we can give you a job. He said, it's making 10 cents an hour. I said, well, put me on then. so when I go up to the gate and everybody's lined up, so he say, well, they had some people going outside, but he says, okay. He said, what you want to do? I said, I don't care what. He said, well, I tell you what, get this broom and you sweep all around the complex. I said, okay. So I got the broom and started sweeping around the complex. And I talked to the broom talked back to me. So, and I wouldn't make it with 10 cents an hour, but I didn't care because I had money on the, like I said, the Mexican lady was sending me money on the book. So when she write me a letter, I had to pay the Mexican dude some soup, a bag of potatoes. She had to read the letter for me. Right. Because she was being since Spanish. And I talked to the broom, and so anyway, they get on the, they would call me and tell me that I'm messing up count. I'm out there with the broom sweeping. It didn't make, I stay out there all day. It didn't make me no difference. Because when I got back, I read my Bible, sit on my bed, read my Bible, and pray to see my son. And 3 weeks before I got out.
Nope, not 3, 2.
It was 2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, Mr. Shaw.
No, wait. Hold on. Before you go there. So I'm on the phone with Consular Shaw. And Pops is emotional. And I asked Consular Shaw, I said, can we exchange information? By this time, this dude went from aggressive to really mellow and cool. He was like, yeah, you guys can do that. So I gave Pops my phone number, right? And I can hear Pops leaving out of this room, right? I can hear him still crying as he's leaving out of this room.
My bed is right there by his office. I was about 2 beds over from his office. Right. But he come by and he told me, he said,
wait. Hold on. I'm going to let you get there. Consular Shaw, I can hear Pops leaving. I know my dad was on drugs.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, I know he was on drugs. How is he doing now? He said, man, you would be proud of him. He's into church and he counsels people. I'm like, okay. That's shut down. Okay, cool. I called all the family, let them know I found him. He's in prison. Case closed. And I kind of went back to life. We work night shift.
Yeah.
I wake up. There's 2 calls from from 2 different numbers in Phoenix, Arizona, right? Or in Arizona.
This is after the 2 weeks.
This is after 2 weeks. I've kind of forgotten.
He told you he was getting out in 2 weeks?
The counselor told me he was getting out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I kind of forgotten. You know how we do. We busy. We live life. So I call the number back, and the first lady goes, he was here, but I'm quite sure he'll be back. I call the next number, and the lady goes, hold on. And I think it was like a phone booth or something like that.
No. This is a house. Yeah.
No. Before you got to the house, it was somewhere else because I still have this lady's number in my phone, right, from 2010. And I don't know if it's the probation officer's number, the first one, but it was something like that. It was somebody official. I talked to him. He gives me these phone numbers. I talked to this Mexican lady, and she's like, oh, I'm a celebrity to her. He's told her everything. She's excited. And she's like, oh, just call anytime. He'll be here and blah, 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 blah. I said, is he all right? Does he need anything? Oh, no, we'll take care of it. Everything is fine. And you can always call in here no matter what time of the night. Just call.
You went back to that same house when you got out?
No, I had lost that house. But see, like I said, the neighborhood that I lived in was one brother lived in that neighborhood, all except the dope house. And there was one in the back, one in the front.
But they was going to let you come back.
But when I went, see, like I said, I'm this Spanish guy that lived down there, and that was his wife, and he had went back to Mexico. The guy got him for drinking, but he would have he send his kids down to my house on Friday when him and his buddy them get up and waiting to sit on the drive in the yard and cooked fried fish and drank beer. He's here sitting down there to get me, so I went there to use the phone. But he had told me before I went to prison that anytime I needed something, I needed somewhere to stay, or I needed something to eat, to come to his house. He said, I told my wife. So when I went there, she told me, she said, well, your son had called. He said he gonna call back. And then when I talked to you, and I went outside and waited on your buddy. Mm-hmm. So she said, your son called. She said, I told him that he can stay right here with me and my kid. So it was 15
get closer to the mic.
It was 15 of us plus the roaches. And so anyway, you get ready to eat. I put my plate on the table and go back to get me a fork or something and come back and we'll say, hey, where you going? I was sitting here first. So you got to find you somewhere else to sit there. So anyway, I had my own room. But the guy, he was going back to Mexico, and they sent him back to Mexico because he got busted for driving under influence and stuff. So, but I was always welcome, and the things that I did in life.
Wait, before you go there, Pop, I'm gonna let you in with that, but I gotta get people to this. The crunchy part, the good part. He's in prison. He gets out 2 weeks later, right? And we get in contact with each other. Mm-hmm. I don't trust him.
Oh, let me tell you.
Wait, no. Hold on. I don't trust him. You can't be any good being a crackhead. You can't be.
Well, you don't.
Wait. Hold on. Let me finish. Okay. You can't be any good.
Well, see, you can't say that because you never was one.
Right. So the first thing I do.
What you know about it?
Right. Exactly. You can't be any good. Yeah. But the first thing I do, I call up my partner, Charlie. Him and his wife, they live in Arizona. I'm telling you, if you don't believe that fate or God put certain things in place, they had just moved to Arizona.
I'm glad that's
so I said, Charlie, how far do you live from Phoenix or whatever? He said, oh, man, I'm about 30 minutes away. I said, hey, man, listen, my dad just got out of jail. he's a crackhead. I need you to go check on him. He go, okay, we good friends.
Yeah.
They immediately go. They meet up with him. I'm waiting for the worst news. Mm-hmm. Charlie, what you see? He said, Clint, man, listen. If that dude's a crackhead, that's the best looking crackhead I ever seen in my life. That's what he said. That ain't good enough. Charlie must be, he's a religious guy, a deacon in the church. He must be seeing him for whatever. I call up my other homeboy, Ren. Hey, Ren, how far are you from? He goes, oh, man, I'm not that far away. Listen, man, my dad needs to go grocery shopping, and he needs a haircut.
But I had got my own apartment by then.
Yeah, he had his own apartment.
I got my own apartment.
Ren goes over there, picks him up, takes him shopping. He was like, dude, I wish my dad was like him. I'm like, dude, your dad done had a job all his life, been an upstanding person, and what are you talking about? He's like, man, your dad is so cool, man. And I'm like, this can't be real. So now we get closer to a year he's been out, right? We get closer to a year that he's been out. My dad goes, hey, man, I need to get out of Arizona. Why? What's going on? He said, listen, all my friends, they either in wheelchairs or still on drugs. I can't go back to that. He said, one of the girls I used to mess with back in the day, she came over here today, man, and she had that stuff on her. Yeah. What stuff? Now, this was the first time he admitted that, he used to be on drugs. And then he goes, yeah, man, she came over here with the cocaine. I got to get up out of here, man. I got to get up out of here. I said, okay. So I challenged him. Before I even gave him that challenge, I called a friend of mine up. Her mother died of being on drugs, being a crackhead. I said, listen, my dad is in Arizona talking about he needs to get away. He wants a better life. He doesn't want to go back to being on drugs. What should I do? She said, hold on a minute. I was just talking to my homegirl, and she puts me on three-way, right? And so we're sitting up there talking, and her homegirl both was like, you get him, you bring him home. I said, they crazy as shit. I'm not bringing this crackhead around my kids. So I called one of my homeboys in Georgia down real close with his brother to this day is an active drug addict, crack cocaine. Mike, this is what's going on. My dad wants to get here. Clint, you bring him home. Man, he crazy too, yeah. Right? He crazy. I'm not bringing this man around my kids. Somebody tell me no. Mm-hmm. My wife go tell me no. So I go to her, right? Listen, my dad said blah, blah, this, and he needs to get away, and he wants to come out here. She said, bring him home. He can come here. I said, God damn it. You remember this, Pop? I told him, I said, you meet us in San Jose. Because we was on a family vacation. I said, you meet us in San Jose.
That was afterwards.
Yeah, but he came to San Jose. He met us. And I'm driving up here. I'm still leery.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a grandfather. My daughter was a little girl then, 6, 7 years old, something like that. They used to walk to church. Yeah. When they used to walk to church, I stood on my balcony because they can only go in a straight line because I still wasn't fully trusting him. And she was excited to go to church. He'd take her to church, and I'm looking at this dude, and I'm going, okay, is this for real?
Kind of waiting for him to mess up.
Waiting.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, man, I just opened up a bank account. Here's my information. Oh, man, I'm doing this. This is what's going on. So now he's giving me everything that if I need to monitor it, it's right there.
Yeah.
So now it goes from, okay, I'll allow you to go in a straight line somewhere with my kids because the church was like a couple blocks away. Straight line, I can see where you're going. Yeah. Then it was just like the kids actually got to experience a pawpaw. They're excited.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this transformation, but then I started to learn something about me, and I started to learn something about real life. You can have this perspective that people can never be fixed or cured. And then life comes in and shows you different. Yeah. Shows you something different.
Yeah.
This man is now it's been 10 years, right? And I don't say this as any way to brag, but I say this to say, and I say this for this purpose. My dad don't pay. He lives with me. He will not pay me mortgage. I won't allow it. He will not have to pay his cell phone bill. I won't allow it. Because I remember that story that my mother told me. Every Friday, he would bring Pampers and milk.
You know, when I got my own apartment, and you asked me did I want to move, I live right up the street. Yes, and I want to fly, take the train, take the bus.
Yeah.
And I live walking distance from my apartment in Arizona up to the Greyhound bus station. But you send me a box. These shoes is 10 years old. Mm-hmm. These shoes here is 10 years old.
White Air Force Ones.
10 years old.
And like you don't put too many miles on them.
No, all the other ones I don't and trip about them, you know.
Oh,
but
it's your special shoes.
But I know because I'm clean, and I don't want no dirty shoes on my feet. Yeah, so I wear these to church every blue moon.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, it's like
things that he has done and things that going on. You know, people can get a concept of another person just by looking at them. But when I go downtown,
stay close to the mic, Pop, so people can hear you.
When I go downtown, I go anywhere, and the people sitting sleeping on the street is no better than me.
Yeah.
I'm no better than them. I have more passion from them than the man driving a brand new car. You know, because like I've been there. You know, I have so many different stories to tell about my life, but I gave myself to God. See, I committed myself, and I was smoking 2 cigarettes a day for years. Couldn't stop. But he wanted me to go and go to a psychic.
No, not a psychic.
Hypnotist.
Hypnotist.
Yeah, okay. I didn't need that.
No.
See, I didn't need that. And I couldn't smoke a cigarette without a piece of gum and a piece of candy in my mouth because I couldn't stand the taste. And I would go up to the service station here in Hillsborough. And if those guys didn't have no, I'd be getting $1 for a cigarette in order not to buy a pack. Mm-hmm. I got a pack, I smoke more. See, and if they didn't have no cigarettes and no money to buy, I'd go and buy them a pack of cigarettes and take me one out. And when I go back to Alabama on my vacation, I would buy my niece a pack of cigarettes. Get up in the morning, eat breakfast, go down and smoke one. Come back in the evening, eat dinner, go down and smoke one.
You notice he eat a lot.
But the next day, I got to buy another pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
So I happened to be going in the store one day, and my nephew told me, he said, give me go in this, give me $1 and go buy us a couple of cigarettes. I said, why? Why are you gonna get them in the store? So I started buying that pack of cigarettes every other day, and not smoking but 2 cigarettes. And the same thing about drinking. See, and that was a guy at my across the street from my sister's house in Alabama. And when I go on vacation, and I go and talk to him, he said I drank beer and he drank wine. So my nephew and them all of them come around, and I'm splurging. You know, I'm splurging, you know, because they bent and broke.
Yeah.
So the guy they called him crazy. He drank wine, and he talked about the president was listening on this conversation on his phone. He's drinking wine now. He tell you anything. So anyway, one day he called me. He said, I was in the yard. He said, hey, come over here. I got something to tell you. He said, Sonny, come over here. I got something to tell you. He said, let me tell you this. He says, you haven't noticed this. He said, they call me crazy, and I talk to myself and all that. And he says, me and you is the only one buying. I buy a 12-pack, a 30-pack, and drink a half a can of beer. So when they get their money, he said, when they get their money, you don't say, I mean, he said, me and you the only one putting in and buying, when they, especially, and they claim they don't have no money. And I say, you know, and they talk about me, call me crazy, and I ain't got no thing. I said, you know what, Mr. Wilson? I used to say the same thing about you, but you're the only one that told me something that made sense. Mm-hmm. And I stopped drinking. Yeah.
How long has it been since you quit smoking?
I got a year and going on 7 months.
When was
6 months?
When was the last time you tried cocaine?
Oh man, you know, my mind don't go back that far. Thank God, my mind don't go back that far. You know, but you know what I used to do? I used to try to go around my friends, and then and I said to myself one night, I said, oh no, you know, I said I can't do this. I said I'm falling back in that same old crap. You cannot do it, you know, and you know, and by God's grace, I was able to walk away. And I said, thank you, Lord, because like all the people that I know, the young and the old, they are dead. I would go back, oh, man, he dead, she dead, and these are young and old,
right?
You know, and I remember I was going back one year to vacation to Arizona, and the girl I used to mess around with, she used to be one of the girls from one of the ranches in Las Vegas. real nice, and she took care of me real good, you know. And so you know,
I don't even want to know what real good is. That
I called her and told her, well, I said, well, I'm going to come back. I think it was in August. So she said, well, look, wait, don't come then. Wait another month. And so when I did go down, I kept calling and couldn't get an answer. And the white dude that she was staying with, he answered the phone. And I called his number because I couldn't get an answer. So she said, well, she just died last month. I said, that's why she didn't want me to come. But you know, there's a lot of struggles in life, you know. But it's all about what you want in life, you know. And I want nothing but the best for family and also for my friends as well. And you know, people say things without thinking, you know, because like when you make a statement about you gonna go off on somebody or whatever, but when the devil was passing out his trophies, that same person that you gonna go off on, the devil gave him some pleasure too, some things too to work on, you know. But you know, I really admire you in so many ways. You know, nobody's perfect.
no.
Nobody's perfect. You know, but I try my best to stand up for what's right.
Right.
You know, and like I say, in this, I always say, there's nothing out there that I hadn't been through and haven't experienced in life. And you know, I used to sleep in a cardboard box.
Okay, so wait, hold on, Pop. So you've been drug free for however many years,
30, 40,
whatever it is,
50 years, 60 years now. So whatever it is,
it is what it is.
It's been good.
Let me ask you something. Going through that part of your life and getting to 76 years old in
A few more days.
a few more days, weeks, whatever we want to call it. January 22nd. If you had to talk to a young person,
That was what I was going to ask.
and let's say they're 56 years younger than you, what would you tell them?
You know, I would tell them, your experiences that you're going through, so you can talk to anybody in the world, but it's the person itself. It's what you want out of life. See, if you get to a point where you're tired of what you're doing, you got to give it up. And you say, well, I'm going to try this tomorrow, I'm going to wait until tomorrow. You got to do it right then and there. Like I said, I put it off for many, many years. And there's things that happen in my life that I said, nothing but the grace of God. I'm here today to witness how good and how grateful He is. A lot of people may not understand. They say whenever a person go to jail or prison, they get holy, and they want to start from the Bible. They want to go to the Bible and try to redeem themselves. But that's what you have to do.
Right.
And but I can witness and tell you about things that I went on in my life. And I'm here today as a living witness of what that Bible will do for you. And just to go back to one little instance, I was training in Arizona. I was training to be a cashier at 7-Eleven. Mm-hmm. And they was going to pay me $5,000 for what? I think it was 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks or either 3 weeks. It could have been even a month. So in my state, that was good.
Right.
So, but the girl at the place that I was taking this latest place, and so I guess they decided not to go. So what I did though, the girl come up there one night to see me. I met her, and so she came in the store, and so the guy that was the Indian, that he liked her. So with me, I got my bet on.
Right.
So while he was out there in the back with her, I was loading up her car. Shit. So but anyway, then I was coming home one night, and I had my little money on me. And my mind said, "Don't put the money in your pocket. Take it and put it down in my underwear." So I took and put it in my shorts. And when I got off the bus, the guy says, "Hey," he pulled a gun out and told me, "Give him what you got." I said, "Man, I had some change in my pocket." I said, "Man, the police just ran me off from down there hustling. I don't have no money." So I had a little change in my hand. He said, "That's all you got?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Give me that." I said, "Okay." So anyway, when I get off the bus, I'm going to the spot on my way home. So anyway, I went on. So about 2 weeks later, I said, "I'm not going to get off the bus here. I got to go about 6 blocks out of the way. And then I got to double back around to come back to the spot."
Right.
So what I did, I said, it's 2 weeks in past now.
No. When you say the spot, what kind of spot is this?
Dope spot.
The dope spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
So-
it.
I just want to make sure our audience know what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, they know. Trust me. Say they can't hide it from me.
Right.
But anyway, so 2 weeks later, I said, I'm not gonna go all the way to the house, and then I got to double all the way back, because this is the only spot open, and they got good stuff. It's Mexican. So anyway, I get off the bus, and there's 2 of them this time.
Oh man.
So I said, "Oh Lord, they're the same guy." So I got my money stashed. So
Oh, this is what he do. He just out here robbing folks.
So the other guy said, "Hey, that one right there." He said, "Oh, that's that old broke ass nigga. We ain't got time to fool with him." Hey, Lord, but
So,
God
Pop,
has been good.
I got a question for you.
I've been shot and robbed by a 14-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. And I was passing. Just 1 minute. I was passing ice cream out to kids in the park. I had a reputation with everybody. The ice cream truck can come down in the neighborhood. And I would tell the man, anybody down there, any kid that you see that don't have ice cream, give it to them. I ain't got no money. But when Friday come, I did my little hustle, did my little work. The ice cream, when he come on Friday, he got his money.
Right.
So I went to go pay him. And the Mexican guy that I do work for, and washing his cars for him and cut the grass. So anyway, he says, here's $10. And he said, but I got to go to the bank and I give you the rest of your money, which was $25. So I went to the park, called the ice cream man, and gave me $20. So I paid him, and I had $13, and I was counting my money. And the kids that didn't have ice cream, the man, he said, oh, see, that's okay. You ain't got to pay me. I give him ice cream anyway.
Right.
Because of you.
Right.
So anyway, the kid, he's 14 years old, walked up to me. He stays facing the park right across the street.
Right.
Walked up to me, snatched the money, and ran. It was two of them. So I'm running behind him, and the sidewalk had a little high curve to it. You know, the sidewalk had a little high step. So I tripped and fell. He went around the fence, and I got up. I was all skinned up knees and my arm. I got up, was brushing myself off and look at myself. He walked up to me.
Gotta take the headphones off.
He walked up to me like this. Went up there, pulled out 22. And I can remember the day when he pulled the trigger, he was just this close when it hit me right here. And I remember my body turning just to half. And so now I got a pound of weed down in here. It didn't hit the weed, it hit me. That was from my Mexican buddy. So anyway.
Damn, hold on. He turned around and came back and shot you?
He turned around and come back and shot me. He already took the money.
Yeah, damn, you got my money?
Yeah, he already got the money. So anyway, I'm laying down here on the ground. So my Mexican buddy pulled up. He said, James. He said, come on, let me take you to the hospital. I said, no. Take your weed and go. Take your weed and go. So when the paramedic, he said, well, let me take you to the hospital. I said, no, just go. Just take the weed and go.
Oh, yeah, you got a pound of weed? Yeah, man, get the weed.
Yeah, to go.
Yeah, so anyway, the paramedic came, and they said, they have a patient. Said he's shot. He was shot one time with a 22 or 25 automatic, I think it was. He said, with multiple internal injury.
Yeah,
He said paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh, what?
He takes me to the hospital. And they take me to the hospital. They pull a bullet out of my hip. I said,
Get close to the mic, Pop.
by my body just turning a hair. It went in here and they put it out right here on my hip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Them 22s, they'll move around in you.
They say that's what the doctor said.
Yeah,
they ain't seen that. So they never seen nothing like it. You know,
By the grace.
That's by the grace. That's why. So I go downstairs. 2 days later, I get up walking. They let me get up walking. And what's that medicine that they give you?
Morphine.
Morphine. They said, you want? No, I'll give you some morphine. So I get my morphine. I go to sleep. My pain is gone. So I get up 2 days later. They asked me if I want to get up. I said, yeah. So they said, you need to get up and start walking around. So you're supposed to be paralyzed. So I go downstairs, and I got 90 something cents in change in my pocket. They don't even think it was that much. So I go downstairs. I want me some donut and coffee. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, I go out and buy me a donut. And the Mexican lady behind the counter, she said, Brother Love. Now, that's what the ladies used to call me, Brother Love.
Lord have mercy.
So she said, Brother Love, she said, I thought they say you dead. I said, no. I said, he shot me. I said, she said, yeah. She said, everybody know that kid shot you and robbed you. She said, you don't need no money. She said, you get anything in here you want. So I go up, got me a coffee and donut. And, they let me out maybe about 3 or 4 days later. So I go back, and the white guy came and he told me I was walking around. So the white guy told me, he said, I chased him. He said, after I found out they had shot you, he said, I chased him. See, and see, I told the police, gave the police the information, and they gave me a report. So this white guy chased the little kid, And so about 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I was going up to the service station to get me a beer. And the same little kid shot a white boy in the head.
Mm-hmm. So wait, hold on. Before we get in there, Pop, we had about almost 2 hours into this story here.
No, man, we're going to do a part 2.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a part 2.
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
You know what? Because
we can keep going, but we're going to stop it.
Yeah, we're going to have to stop it right here, And
I mean we don't got to stop it, but we should chop it.
Yeah, we're going to chop it.
But let me break it off here,
Wait, hold on. Let me give you some context.
Yeah.
Hold on, we ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop it with you.
We ain't gonna stop
it with them.
So you migrate from one of the most horrid places, or
well,
not one.
The place.
It wasn't the place. It's the time period.
It was me.
No. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. You migrate from Mobile, Alabama, for a better life. California. You find it, but then you find the temptation.
Yeah.
You fall in line where a lot of people have. You get caught up in the 80s and the 90s, and you become a victim of that time period and a victim of your own desires. And now, at almost 76 years old, your story, to me, is inspirational. Your story, to me, is where I've seen those fallen soldiers who died because of their drug use and their drug abuse.
Yeah.
I see where when you step out of your own way, and when I say you step out of your own way, my preconceived notions were that if you were doing any drug past marijuana, you were a person that couldn't be trusted. You were a person that couldn't recover. And my dad has been living with me for over 10 years now since he got out of prison. I think the first year he stayed on his own, recuperated, did his own thing, brought him here. And I would encourage anyone.
Nothing but a blessing.
I would encourage anyone, get out of your own way, because just to assume that a person has walked the path that they walk doesn't mean they're going to stay on that same path. Doesn't mean that you can't see the good in a person because,
past.
That's the past. Mm-hmm. Now it's the present, and you move further towards the present. So, Dad, you got 30 seconds.
My point is, the thing about it, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And don't never give up on nothing. Don't never give up. And get some spiritual presence in your life. Because it'll help you. But it's up to you yourself. If you want to do bad, you keep doing what you want to. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to do good, you trust in the Holy Spirit to help you. And it's been a blessing to me to have my family, my friends, to motivate me and to see what this other part of life is like. And for me to be able to reach this age, and there's so many other people that's not here today that I've been around. I mean, young and old. And I'm not sure what the ones that's still alive are still doing. But I've met those that have made changes, over the years. But I want to say thank you, Clint. And never give up, never.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been my dad, the one and only, the man that bought me milk and Pampers and motivated me to do something that for somebody that was greater than my own thoughts or inhibitions or whatever. And I want to thank you guys for listening to this story, listening to the backstory, the front story, the getting shot. And remember, people can change. People do change.
One more thing I have to say. It's one thing about you. I've never treated you no different than
No,
I
he
have
didn't.
my own. Never in my life.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something, Pop, and you probably didn't know this. When I realized that Pops wasn't my dad, I started searching for my biological father.
Right.
I started going through all of my mother's yearbooks, mailed, and all of this stuff, and I found a letter from Pops. And in the letter, he said, I don't ever want him to know that I'm not his real father.
The day that you told me that your mother told you that I wasn't your real father, it hurt. I cried. It hurted me. See, because like you always been mine, and I always treated you like you was mine, and you're no different. That's regardless of what nobody says.
Yeah, he always treat me like I'm his, especially when he eat my leftovers. But Pops, we gonna bring this to the end. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been 2 Cent the Podcast. I am Uncle Clint. I'm here with my co-host, the one and only DeAngelo Gillespie.
I ain't saying shit all day.
I know it, but you know what? I've been watching you. You was mesmerized over the stories now.
Nah, that was good. I ain't want to say nothing. I wanted to get
something.
That's what you do.
Hey, once again, it's 2 Cent the Podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's go.
Thank you.
This has been 2 Cents, the podcast, hosted by Clinton Washington, with co-host DeAngelo Gillespie, brought to you by Underway Entertainment and Pound the Pavement Productions. Thanks for listening.